Colorado program. Let me remind you, nothing's happening right now that Deion did not say was going to happen. Nothing has happened that they didn't in some ways orchestrate themselves. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you in Nashville, Tennessee tonight, I'm not telling you that every kid they've lost, they wanted to lose. Absolutely not. No way, no how. But in general terms, Deion was on the record very clearly saying, hey, we've given kids an option and some of them have run off and now we're going to run some more of them off. And so we always knew there was going to be roster churn. What I want to do is two things. Number one, I want to tell you what I think about it in a second, but I want to just paint a picture for you about how unprecedented this thing that's happening in Boulder, Colorado is. And I want to paper pop it because that's how serious these things are. They had, all right, let me scratch my nose because it itches. Let me slow down because these numbers are pretty mind-boggling. Think about college football as you know it, because nothing I'm about to say in the next 2 minutes sounds like the college football that you grew up knowing and loving. As of the start of 2022, as of the start of last season, Colorado had 83 scholarship football players. Since April 15th, they've had 34 of them into the transfer portal, but that's not like the sledgehammer number, okay? Go back to 2022 again. They enter 2022, they have 83 players on scholarship. They have 18 of them remaining. It's 2023. It's a year later. It's less than a year later. And they have 18 out of 83 remaining. What is this? It's real life. This is not Xbox. This is real life. By the way, since April 15th, like I said, they've had 34 players enter the portal. They've had 20 more transfer out this cycle than the next closest team. So take whoever number 2 is when it comes to losing guys to the portal. Colorado's 20 ahead of whoever number 2 is. I think that's Arizona State. 77%. That's the number that I'm focused on right now. Because really what I want to know is if we're going to set records here, just give it to me in percentages. How much of Colorado's total roster will have overturned in 1 year? Now, to paint that picture for you, if you're unfamiliar with the math of roster attrition, it's pretty wild if you overturn 35 or 40% of your roster. I mean, 40%, that's you're thinking in your mind, that's nearly half your team you overturned in 1 year. Just to give you an idea, like a little scale to judge this number I'm about to give you by. So I would say 40% is high. It looks like they're going to be somewhere between 75 and 80% roster turnover in 1 year, which is crazy, obviously, unprecedented. We've never seen anything close to what's happening right now happen in college football. So you've got a lot of people out there who are looking at this and saying, well, everyone's saying, wow. You got some people looking at it and saying, hey, that's exactly what Deion wanted to do. And there are other people, especially over the past 48 hours, there are other people, when you've seen some pretty good names hit the portal, and you've also seen some names decommit, and so you've seen some bad headlines mixed in with some predictable headlines, and there have been some people who have said, uh-oh, this approach is coming back to bite Deion Sanders in Colorado. So if there's a misstep that's been made here, by my estimation, maybe the misstep has been that you got this ideal vision for what your roster can be, and you have to bite the bullet a little bit in an admission of what the reality is. So what I mean is Deion and his staff walk in there. He's got a really good coaching staff, by the way. Deion and his staff walk in there, and they've got a vision. They got a picture like every other coaching staff would of what a Colorado football player is. Their critical factors that they want in every position, the minimum baseline talent level. They've got all the traits that they want in a player, and they've got a standard that they want to hold every position group to. And of course they looked at the roster they inherited and said, we've got hardly any of what we would call the right stuff in this locker room right now.